I was born and grew up in England, settled in Lincolnshire. I worked there as a GP for 3 years after I finished my training. The impact of COVID was obviously massive for everybody, and that for us was the catalyst of, life is short, we know we want to travel, we've got to get on with it. So I wanted to work in a bigger purpose-built centre with lots of professional development opportunities. And it was looking at the wider aspects, so where's my husband able to work, what are his opportunities, schooling opportunities, travel, things like that. New Zealand for us was attractive for lots of reasons. The health system being comparable, and obviously the language made it easier from a work perspective. New Zealand's much more welcoming in terms of visas and the crossover in terms of your qualifications. There are lots of job opportunities in New Zealand and there's something for everybody. From a family perspective, it was just much more attractive. There was something for all of us in the family because it was never going to work if it just fit for me. When we were looking at options for where to live in New Zealand, sunny Hawke's Bay was something that was really appealing. Through the summer, the weather's been absolutely incredible, up into the 30s, but still quite comfortable. The health community in Hawke's Bay really does take you under their wing when you arrive. There was a good communication between my colleagues here at the health centre and Health Hawke's Bay. They were very keen to make sure that the transition was easy, making sure I understood how this system really works and how it works as a community. From a professional perspective, having closer engagement with your patients so much more regularly and working with them over a number of years, you get a really key part in preventative healthcare as well and managing those long-term conditions as opposed to just firefighting. Makes the job feel much more fulfilling, and the opportunities to take your career in a direction that really interests you are endless in New Zealand, and that was something that really appealed to me. Hawke's Bay's been really easy to slip into. Because everybody was so welcoming, as well as talking to my colleagues about what work would look like, they were so helpful in saying the areas for where to live. We had all the options from living close to the village centre and being able to walk to school and things, which was important to us. But we could have had a beachside property, we could have been up near the peak. You can have as much or as little space as you want, and there's something that will fit with everybody. And we were able to settle really quickly. Hawke's Bay was a good option for us because there are a lot of industries in the area, and my husband's role is quite flexible. There were lots of different avenues he could pursue, and he's been able to find an area that he's quite passionate about with sport. For a small area, it's got a lot of options. Family life has been incredible since we moved here. We spend so much more time outside. We do so many more activities than we used to. Family bike rides, trips up to the peak. We'll go to the beach for an hour or two just to get everybody moving and everybody, with a smile on their face. The mentality is about you and your family and your whānau and making that work and putting them as a priority in everything that you do. And that builds a really nice balance for being able to do your job well if you know that your family are well looked after. Family are that centre stage for almost all the community. We've so far found the quality of schooling to be excellent. There are options for all different types of schools depending on what fits your family. For us it was finding a way for them to experience New Zealand as best they could. And because New Zealand is used to people moving, the staff are really experienced with that, where they kept a close eye. They can just check in with them now and again, and then they feed that back to us as parents, which is really reassuring. The after school activities are incredible. There are so many opportunities that we're always busy doing something. Hawke's Bay is great for adults as well as children. There's lots to do in terms of getting out and about for trying tasting menus. There's lots of different exhibitions and things that you can go to. Play is just as important for the adults as it is for the children. So there are a lot more opportunities to get involved as an adult here. For me, I decided to go back to my youth and play netball. I'm not as good as I was at 16, but there were still the opportunities, and I found a great team that's helped build my social circle, has given me something outside of parenting and work to find my own path and fit in with. There are loads of great opportunities to do that. The second you say that you're new to the area, it said, oh, have you tried here and have you tried there and where do you go there? And people really want you to feel like there's things to do and places to go. We spend lots of outdoor time now as a family. We've all got bikes and we've got the youngest on the back, and we'll decide on a location to cycle to and pack a picnic and make a day of it. Or we'll just wander up the peak for an hour and try the different trails and see the different wildlife. And my son's learnt all the names of the birds at school, and he tells us and he shares them with us, which is really lovely. On a day-to-day we'll go and grab a coffee from somewhere, and rather than sit in, we'll wander along the beach, or we'll head up into the forest or one of the local scenic reserves because there's so many around and so many options. Hawke's Bay has been the best thing that we've done. Moving to New Zealand has ticked all the boxes in having an adventure, finding a new lifestyle, enjoying a new culture. We are happier and healthier than we've ever been, and it's been wonderful professionally to fit in somewhere new and provide some real consistent care for my patients. It was 100% worth the move, and I wish we'd done it sooner.